Throw some syrup on me and call me a stack of pancakes! What is up? I'm Joyful Jalen. Back again with another Gen V review, episode 6. Let's get into it. This episode was my favorite so far. Starts off with them in the prison break and they're getting out of prison. And so Annabeth knows that Sam is about to come at a certain wall. So that just brought up a lot of questions for me of like, okay, wait. Annabeth's powers are like not science anymore, if that makes sense. With Compound V, a lot of the powers are scientific, but like Annabeth's power, that's kind of like magical. Do y'all feel what I'm saying? Take Kate's power, for example. If she touches someone, she's altering the brain chemistry in that person, theoretically. But Annabeth, how could someone use their biology to see into the future? Do y'all see where I'm coming from? Cipher gets a call that Marie and the gang have escaped, and so he starts slapping the old guy, and I'm like, whoa. Well, it was kind of funny. It was sad because it's like, wait, isn't that his dad? I don't even understand why he's taking care of him if he's just gonna beat him up like that. You would think that Annabeth is happy that Marie brought her back to life. No, Annabeth is pissed. Annabeth is like, I hate you. I have always hated you. So there's always these two scenes with the sisters, and I just want Marie to just say, hey, it was an accident. Maybe that's implied. Never just says it was an accident. Waiting for this moment to be like, hey, let me clear it up. You know, what happened with my powers, that wasn't on purpose. But maybe Annabeth knows and still hates her. Emma's so funny. They're talking about going to Canada. And so Emma's looking back. She's like, so what's the swimming situation? It was a very serious episode, but out of everything, Emma is going to carry the comedy. So they go and they find this abandoned library. And so I thought they were going to like go on the run with Starlight. And so I'm glad they really didn't do that because I'm not feeling the whole on the run vibes. Like I like Gen V because it's like in college. Really don't want to watch a show about a bunch of teenagers on the run. Cipher confronts Polarity and he knows that Marie and the gang are going to reach out to him eventually. And so he comes in, he's like, what type of Waffle House brawl happened in there? And I thought it was so funny, but I was also looking like, dang, that seems a little racial to me, right? There's this moment where Cipher starts making Polarity smack himself, and I thought that was really funny too. But there's a moment where he's talking about Andre, and so he's about to smack him, and then Polarity uses his powers to like shoot Cipher away. And I was just like, what do y'all think that was? Do y'all think that was the thing on his wrist? Was that made of metal and he just made that back up? Cipher was confused, like, what's happening? And then I thought it was really funny how then he looked out the window and Cipher had like run away. I'm like, where is he going? As soon as Cipher finds out where Marie and the gang are, he sends the Viking. And I thought that action scene was so bad. I don't know how y'all felt. I thought that was such a bad fight. Marie gets knocked out the gate. Jordan is like, I gotta go save Marie. And I'm like, whoa. Like, why don't you stay and take care of the threat at hand first? So Sam's fighting the Viking. And then Annabeth is looking at Kate and Emma like, aren't y'all super? So I was thinking about it and I was like, wow, Kate's power is not a fighting ability. I don't know, it just never clicked to me before, but we've never seen Kate really fight. She just kind of walks up and touches people. But I was giving that fight scene a side eye because I'm like, okay, so we just find out that Marie is the most powerful soup that ever was and she just gets knocked out so she can't fight the whole... It just felt like they were trying to save some money and just have Sam and the Viking fight. That's how I feel. Viking comes outside and Stan, Edgar, and Zoe show up. And I'm so glad Zoe showed up because I was like, did she not go to Red River? We never heard of Zoe again. I was so happy to see them, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, Stan Edgar has never been one of my favorite characters. I get that he's like really smart and, you know, can control people through manipulation, but he's always been a boring character to me. In this episode, I fell in love with him. I love Stan Edgar. Stan takes them to the bunker and y'all, the bunker looked so good. A little thing about me, y'all, I love new homes, new apartments, moving into new spaces. I fell in love with that bunker. I was like, I want to live here. And then I was looking and I was just like, y'all could just stay here in this bunker. Like, that would be cool. And reveals that Marie is like this super soup. And I'm kind of getting irritated by it because people keep saying, oh, you're the most powerful soup. And I'm like, guys, we've heard that a lot this season. Is it just me? I feel like they keep saying it. It was because of the promotion. Maybe it was because the trailers, like they kept saying in the trailers, like she's the chosen one. I feel like people keep dropping that and saying you're the most powerful soup. And then they act like it's new information every time. Stan reveals that only 2 survived, Homelander and Marie. But then I'm looking at Annabeth like, wait, so how do you have power? Brings a bigger question up for me. It just seems like everybody has access to Compound V. It's like, in The Boys, it was this rare thing, and like, it seemed like only the 7 really had it. But now that in Gen V, it feels like the whole school has it. I mean, the whole school does have it. It just seems like Compound V is like crazy accessible in this world. They all sit down and they talk about how they can get Thomas Godolkin to beat Cipher. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I was very confused about, wait, how can Thomas beat Cipher? Or like maybe he knows the answer, and I'm like, okay, I guess that's a thing. End of the episode, Marie decides to, I guess, leave the gang and fight Cipher on her own. So she looks at Annabeth, and that was a very touching scene. Also, y'all, the acting was really good between the sisters. Like, every time they have a scene, it is very emotional. But yeah, like I was saying, she's about to leave, and I don't understand why she's going alone. I don't understand why she feels like she has to confront Cipher on her own. She feels really guilty of bringing Annabeth into this situation. And I get upset because I'm like, she didn't bring her into this situation. Then Kate comes up and is like, Marie, wait. You can fix me. And I'm like, thank you. Finally, someone like if you can bring people back to life, you could fix her arm. No, she's not talking about the arm. She's talking about her powers. I have a few thoughts about the whole arm situation. Maybe Kate feels guilty and feels unforgivable. And so she's just like leaving the arm like that as a reminder. I'm just saying, if I had access to Marie's powers, I would, ask her to fix my arm. Maybe the powers are way more important than an arm because she never talks about her arm. She's always talking about her powers. Y'all, I thought this was a really good episode. Made it this far. I love you so much. Thank y'all so much for watching my stuff. Of course, subscribe. Come back and see Jalen some more. And I'll see you next time.